Okay, fridge is on now. Pulling in power across the board. Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am hitting the road and I'm so excited because I have something really cool planned. The van's all ready, so let's go. Now the crazy thing is I have reservations for the first leg of this trip and I never do that. I always usually just kind of like play it by ear and figure out kind of where I want to be. But because I have some very specific things that I want to do, I went ahead and just set up some different reservations. So I have tonight already covered, I have tomorrow already covered, I have the day after that already covered, and then I have 3 days after that already covered. Now some of these I booked well in advance because it gets pretty crazy on the road sometimes, but after that I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. I do know I have a destination, but I haven't covered my accommodations yet, so it's gonna be real interesting. Before I go, I'm gonna stop by my parents' house and say goodbye to them, and yeah, then I gotta pick a song of the day and hit the road. I have several hours of driving to do today, but these are pretty familiar hours, so I'm going to see if I can't find something interesting along the way. At some point, I'll stop, take a little stretch break, probably refuel, do some other things, but today, we're back on the road. Okay, in my discovery of starting off my trip, I forgot something already. Way to go me. So I'm going to be getting out my Hot Logic and heating up some breakfast. And I had made all of those wonderful breakfast burritos and then I left them in my freezer. I brought everything else with me, but not the breakfast burritos. So, gonna use the Hot Logic for the first time. I picked up these Hot Pockets, so I thought these would be something that could be comparable. They didn't have anything more breakfasty, so I was like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat up one of these. Actually, I may go ahead and heat up both of them just to kind of see how long it takes in the Hot Logic. So this will be my first test. So I'm going to take them out of the packaging so I can put that in the regular trash can, and then yeah, that should be good. Whew, okay, starting off my day kind of weird, that's for sure. I went through my checklist, I went through all of my stuff, but I still managed to have that one oopsie, so it kind of just is what it is. You know, if that's the worst thing that I do on this trip, not mad. But getting out this Hot Logic, I figure I have some time before I'm actually going to want to eat. So I'm going to take out the book. I'm actually going to put them into the little container that came with it and see what happens. I think I can put 2 in here, but we're about to find out for sure. So, oh goodness. Oh goodness. So I opened these up. They no longer have a little sleeve. They also appear to have gotten a bit smaller. Maybe we could put both of these in here just to kind of see. And then the lid can go back on this little microwave safe dish. So it looks like this, and then the cord tucks into this section. So I need to unwind the cord and then plug it into my 12-volt port on my van. Now I zip it. And now I turn on the van and see what happens. Oh! Okay. It is powered on. I can see the light from below. And now we wait. I know this is probably going to take at least 20 minutes, which is how long my Road Pro takes for these. But I'm pretty sure it's going to take a little bit longer because the temperature of the Hot Logic only gets up to about 165, I think, at the highest. And so that's a little bit less than the Road Pro. So we're going to be checking out how long it takes to get these to where they need to be. So I'm going to drive up the road just a little bit, and then I'll pull off after I get through the next major town and just kind of check them. And then we'll do the same thing after the next town if they're not ready. It's always an experiment here on the channel. Which leads me to think about my song. And I think today we're going to use the song Weird Science, because we're doing kind of a science experiment of sorts with this Hot Logic. I'm very excited to get this out though, because several of you have asked which one is better and what's better for what kind of scenarios. And so we're going to try all the different things out. I'm going to try to do side-by-sides between the two to show you what you can and can't cook in them. I'm going to also be showing like things like this where we're just heating up a meal while driving. Now, ideally, 12-volt cooking devices are best used when driving down the road. You can just kind of plug them in like this, and then you can check them when you get down the road just a little bit, and you can have a hot meal. Now, you can definitely cook faster with other kinds of devices at your physical campsite, although they are great for being able to use whenever you don't have butane or propane, or maybe you just want to be inside your vehicle, like you're at a harvest host or something. But ultimately, you're going to get more bang for your buck if you're using these while driving. So that's when I usually use the Road Pro, and that's when I'm going to be using this Hot Logic also. But we'll do all of those kind of experiments as we go. But for now, I am on the road again. I have about 5.5 hours to get to my destination, and oh my goodness, it's gonna be a long day. The temperature today is supposed to be pretty decent, so shouldn't be too bad of a drive, and each time that we get out, it should feel pretty nice. So cross your fingers. It's gonna be an interesting, weird science kind of day. Well, we're at a standstill because of construction. Story of my life. Story of my life. Every time I hit the road, I encounter some kind of weirdness just trying to leave Texas. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the Hot Pockets. I don't think they're anywhere near done. I've only been on the road for about 20 minutes at this point. So those were pretty frozen solid, but we're about to find out. Yeah, they're starting to feel warm on the bottom a little bit, but it's still cool enough where I could literally sit my hand here and not feel super warm. And yes, I am aware that by opening that, it's going to take longer. But because I've never used a Hot Logic before, this is part of my testing process. So it is what it is. So 20 minutes in, and the top part of the container is still very cold, like icy cold. The bottom is warm, so it is working, but it is definitely much slower already than the Road Pro, because the Road Pro would have that almost completely done at 20 minutes already. So that's good to know. At the same time, again, I'm not quite ready to eat, so I'm okay with it taking longer. And this is still an effective way of heating stuff up. So we'll just let it rock, and I could be here for a while. This big truck just pulled up on the side, and he's over there talking to our flag guy, so maybe it won't be horribly long, but yeah, we're gonna be here. So while we're here, I'm just gonna kind of collect my thoughts. I'm gonna look at my map, make sure there's nothing ahead that's just like absolutely weird that I need to change my plans for before I get to the main highway. And yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, I'm just here. I'm just here. Oh, do you see that guy? That is our pilot guy. He is coming up so that we can go. Yay! He just went to go turn around, and he is leading us toward the other end of this road now. So off through the construction we go. That wasn't too bad. It was about 10 minutes. So not terrible at all. Looks like they are definitely trying to fix up this road though. They have it all the way ground down to the shoulders. It looks like they're possibly widening it just a little bit. So cool. It's always interesting to see what they're up to on the roadways that we travel on. More so, it's always interesting to see how they're making improvements, because yeah, I travel on this particular road pretty frequently. It's not super far away from my base camp still. And so, in fact, I was just on this, I want to say a couple days ago. My parents and I went and watched a movie, and we came on this road. So, interesting things, interesting things. Okay, so we're going to check in. It's been just under 1 hour. So let's see, it's definitely warm to the touch now. It feels much, much better. But let's see. Okay, this is kind of warm. The bottom is definitely warm. Now it's time to open it though. And I mean, it has defrosted some, but this is still very cold to the touch. Very, very cold. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip them over this time. So I've got them all flipped over. I'm going to cover them again so I can keep the heat inside. And that is still like an iceberg right now. I mean, it's not frozen like stiff like it was, but it's definitely still very cold. So I'm going to trap the heat inside again. I'm saying at least 30 to 40 more minutes probably on completely frozen Hot Pockets. So again, these were frozen like a rock. So if something's frozen like a rock, maybe defrost it first before putting in the Hot Logic. I'm always trying out new things. So that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, just mental note. Maybe defrost a little bit before sticking it in there. But ultimately, we need to be able to know if we can do things from completely frozen, and I think it is an option. It's just definitely something that is going to take a bit longer. So I'm going to look at my clock. I'm going to give it about 30 more minutes at least, and then I'm going to check it again. I may let it go a little longer because, again, that was pretty cold still. So it is what it is. We're learning today. And as we're learning, I'm on the side of this random roadway here next to a big old taco and burrito flag, because you know that makes sense. But for now, Transformers, let's roll out. Okay, I got to a place where I'm going to take a stretch break really quickly. Traffic's been moving pretty slowly because there's been some more construction, so it is what it is. But I'm going to check out my food, get some gas because I have about half a tank, and then walk around and stretch for a moment because yeah, I need it. Okay, we have some condensation that's built up, so that makes me optimistic. Mind you, this has been 2 hours. I think they're ready. They're definitely ready. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close them so they keep the heat in until I get my gas pumped. I'm going to go ahead and close this so it just kind of keeps it kind of in there. And I'm going to unplug it and I'm good to go. Fully frozen to cooked in a capacity that I could be okay with in 2 hours. Now, another thing about this that is a little bit different that I'm noticing from the Road Pro is the Road Pro actually makes it crispy. So when you bite into it, it's crispy. This is kind of not crispy. So I'm fine with that. I'll eat it just the same, but that is a difference. I just want to document the entire process. So, yep. Anyway, gas here is $2.55, so let's fuel up. Okay, gas was marked $2.55 out at the pole, but it's actually $2.65 at the pump, so it is what it is. Okay, 1805. Woo! Okay. Whew, a nice little walk around, a nice stretch, and then I found some other things. My parents had purchased one of these the other day, and they told me it was really good, so I thought if I need something else, that's a good thing. So now, I'm ready. Okay, a little update. Kind of harder to see that, but that roundish thing on the top of this SUV, that is an oversized load that's turning the same way we are. I've been behind it for the last 10 minutes, and the speed limit in this section is like 60 for this little area. We've been going 45. So, I should already be under 3 hours, but I'm still sitting at 3 hours. And since they're turning the same way, I can only imagine that number is going to go up just a little bit. But that's okay because I've been listening to a podcast and just kind of enjoying that and just kind of like taking my time. In the meantime, you can see that is a big oversized load. One of the weird things that I learned was that these oversized loads are actually scheduled by the state as to which roads they're supposed to go down around what time. So even though this has kind of been a busy road, this is where he was told to go. So it's not his fault. Super fun. Okay, an update. It's kind of hard to see, but we're stuck in some kind of accident ahead. And fun fact, when I went to get gas earlier, apparently my map corrected my drive to the fastest because it thought that was a good idea. So I was planning on going up through Oklahoma. I had something I wanted to do. That did not work out. So instead, it's now taking me through Texarkana and adding more time to my travels, even though it was supposed to be the faster route because of the accident. Oh well, it's fine. Again, I'll just keep listening to a podcast, but this is life on the road sometimes. Maps reroute you. So I should have just checked it to make sure I was still on the same path. I did not. That was my bad. Until then, though, this is what it's gonna look like. Okay, I'm almost to my location. I have less than an hour, and whatever is happening up here looks bad. It looks very bad. I could see it for like the last 10 miles, and I'm almost to it. I've turned off my vents from the outside just in case it's something bad in the air, like toxic. But oh my goodness, do you see that? Today has been filled with interesting things, from the traffic to the construction to the mystery smoke. It looks like I'm getting closer, so at least I might be able to tell what it is. Oh wow. Yeah, whatever this is bad. You can just see the smoke rising all around this region. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. The entire side of the road is burned, and it's still active right up here. I just saw a plane fly over and dump water on this. And you can see in the median even, it's crossed into the median. That's bad. That's really, really bad. Oh, it's still actively burning like a lot. Okay. And as we're going past all this active fire, just trying to get out of here before these trees do anything. They haven't closed the road, but it is really bad. It's closed on the other side. You can see it. Oh, there's another plane coming to dump more water. Oh, I can feel the heat off of this. There's that plane coming to dump water. Wow. Wow. And it's just piled up for miles. The entire hillside on that side over there is burned. I've never seen them dumping water on the highway before from a plane. I don't know what happened. I couldn't see across any vehicles that might have had an accident or anything. It's just, this is bad. This is really bad. Like, you can see it back there still. And we're passing all of this traffic. Wow. It's getting worse, actually, it looks like. Okay. That's not great. I'm going to keep my spirits high and hope that everyone is okay, because I don't... That's not good. The fact that the flames were coming actively toward this lane while we passed is terrifying. I would not doubt if they closed this part of the highway too. Wow. It's been going for at least 15 minutes before I got to it, because I could see it. But everything's so dry right now. Everything is so dry. Okay, that's super scary. I'm almost positive they will be closing the other part of the highway. I don't know why it wasn't closed. It was like right by the road. The other side, I'm now 10 miles out and it's still piled up. This is a very busy road. This is a major road through Arkansas. I'm still about 40 miles away from my campsite at this point, and that's really scary. And again, we're now at 12 miles out from the actual fire, and this is just what it looks like. Yeah, they're not moving anytime soon. Okay guys, I made it to camp. The host is not available yet, so I'm having to wait. I have to get a code for the bathroom. But today has been a wild ride, from leaving Texas, hitting all the traffic, and then that fire, which I found out had actually been going on for about 2 hours before I got there. It just started up in the wooded area apparently and kind of made its way down to the highway at one point. The reports that I'm finding online say that a car caught on fire, and that's what closed that other lane. So yeah, that's not good. Reality is, for like 12 to 15 miles, the traffic was piled up, so that's just kind of scary because some of those cars were pretty close to the fire. So ultimately, I'm hoping everything's okay, but I think I'm going to wrap this up. I'll show you my campsite a little bit more tomorrow, but take in these few views and enjoy it. It's really nice here. Until next time, remember, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Bye.